Hello and welcome back to English with Aisha Siddiqui. I hope you all are fit and healthy and you all are taking all the precautions from the virus. As I've heard the news that the second wave of the virus can start, and therefore the government has of many other countries have already announced the lockdown, and maybe there'll be a curfew even in Pune, maybe the night curfew that I've heard latest on news. So it's not a joke, people. Please do take it seriously. Even though, fingers crossed, if the second virus does not come and we are safe from it, but taking precautions from our side is the best thing we can do. So I hope you all are all taking precautions and you all are all fit and healthy. Let's come back to the topic, and we are going to do today a very important topic of poetry for the second year BA students, and I'm referring to this book of second year special English, wherein I am on the first introduction part of the theory of poetry. So on page number 23, I'll be doing the diction part. So I've already done pathetic fallacy over here, and now I'll be doing diction. That is also a very important element of poetry. So let's move forward and see what diction tries to tell us. Here we go. This is an introduction to diction because, of course, in the starting of poetry, we do not know what is diction, what is pathetic fallacy, and all of this. So we need to know what is diction, and therefore we are going to have an introduction part now. Let's see. The first one is, what is the difference between the words house and home? Now, everyone knows house and home is almost one and the same thing, right? But there is a very big difference, not difference in the meaning, but difference in how the meaning is to be told, right? What are the feelings or images that come to your mind when each of the word is said? Like, I mean, house and home, what are the images? Both images are similar, but a house is a normal house, but home is our own home. So whenever we think of the word house, so we know it's a house where a person can live under shelter, can sleep, can eat, and can rest, right? That's a house. But whenever you say the word home, how does it sound? Home. So you just can imagine, or the images of your own home can come to you, right? Like, you can imagine your own bedroom, or you can imagine your house with your mother, your father, your family. So home is a place where your family lives, and house is just a place where you can live because of shelter, because humans need rest to eat food, etc. But home is where you can actually feel your family, right? So whenever we go on a long journey and then we come back, what is the first thing we say? Home sweet home, right? This is the first thing that we say, home sweet home. So this is what comes to your mind when you say home. It comes closer to your heart. And house is just a place to hide yourself, I mean a shelter. Now, what do all of the words have in common? What they have in common? They all refer to home and house, both refer to mommy, mama, birthplace, your mother, or your maternal parents, grandparents, maybe. All of these things come as an image in your mind or your brain when home is shown, right? Now, let's see what is denotation and connotation. Now, you all must be thinking, why did I introduce the word diction as home and house? We will see further why this example I've given. What is denotation now? Sorry. Yeah. Denotation means the explicit or direct meaning of a word, the dictionary definition. So every word has two meanings. One is the specific meaning that is given in the dictionary. So if you want to open uh, the meaning of love, suppose the word love, and you open the dictionary, so it's given when you are attached to someone, your affection, you have affection, you are caring to that person, that's love, right? But your own meaning of love is different. Everyone specifically means something else when they think of the word love. Someone do not have a very, you know, strong bonding with someone as love, so their meaning of love will be little different from the person who has many relations. Relations means mother, father, cousins, aunts, aunties, and everyone is very close to each other and they stay very nicely and lovingly. So that person will be having a different opinion about the word love, right? So connotation is a word. I mean, it means that your own meaning of a word, everyone's different specific meaning of the word. But denotation means the specific meaning written in the dictionary. That is the true meaning of the word. Okay, so I hope you all understood the difference between denotation and connotation. This can come in your exam as a difference between. So you should know the main difference between both of these words. Now, words have both a denotation and a connotation. So any word that you pick up, any word from the dictionary or either just outside the dictionary, anything that you pick up, each and every word has even denotation and even connotation. How is that? As any word, I just took an example of love, right? So love has a dictionary meaning, and love specifically, each and every person has different meanings of love. So therefore, all the words, just as in the example of love, almost all the words have denotation and connotation both. Now let's see, it's your turn. Think of some other word sets that have both denotation and connotation meaning. Both there should be. Write them down and then brainstorm feelings or images that come to your mind with each word, such as father, red, cool. Now, father, for some person, a father may be only a person who protects you, or maybe who fulfills your needs and necessities by money or by finance, right? But for other person who does not only require his father only for money, but he requires his father for the right affection and love that he's grown with him, so that will be different. So everyone has different concepts and opinions about each and every word. So each and everyone's opinions are respected, and each and everyone's opinion is known as connotation. But the real meaning of a father, the definition is given in the dictionary. So the dictionary meaning is known as denotation. Your own meaning is known as connotation. Now let's see ahead. Sorry, the example that I mean, the activity that you all can do is you all can write any word that comes to your mind, and just check out if what is your own meaning, or just check out 2 to 3 people have different opinions on that meaning of the word, and the dictionary meaning is something else. So by that you'll understand if the word has denotation as well as connotation. Now, words are like box of a crayon. Think about names of colors in a crayon box. Let's think. There is red, blue, green, yellow, purple, and many more, etc., etc. Kids choose colors to reflect the mood or feelings they want to create in their artwork. Now, you always remember, colors is a thing that actually students, sometimes a student will come, a kid, a small kid. If you ask a small kid that color this picture of a house, okay, so that person will take out red, blue, green, all the colorful, bright colors to color the house, right? Now, that person who's colored the house in a very colorful way, you all will automatically know the psychology behind it, is that maybe his house is painted very nice. Of course, that's in a lighter note, but or maybe he has a very deeper concept of family as a house, right? Very colorful house means maybe his family is on a very lighter way, playful. Parents are not fighting, of course. Siblings are there. They play and they laugh, and love and affection is there in the house. Now, if a student or a kid picks up black and gray and all the dull colors, or maybe black, and he just paints the whole house black, right? Of course, automatically we know that his psychology of a house is something, there's something wrong in it, right? So it depends on the mood or the psychology of a child, specifically on the mood that he's doing it. If his mother has given him one nice fatka that day, and then the teacher, and then he comes to the classes and the teacher tells, paint your mother nicely, he'll write, scrub it up and down and black and blue and all the different colors to his mother, right? Because he has just got that fatka, and that's the reason he's painting full black. Otherwise, if he's got some nice chocolate from his mother, he will come and paint her nice little salwar or kurta or whatever she wears. He will nicely color it in that ways what she really wears, right? So with the mood of a child, you can actually recognize what is his feeling or what he's trying to convey through his colors or his feelings, right? Now, certain shades of colors evoke different feelings and emotions. Just as I told you, very colorful can have different feelings and emotions, and black or some other different colors denote some other meaning. So, similarly, words have shadings of meanings. All the different, just like colors have different meanings and emotions, similarly, even words have different meanings and emotions. Like an artist choosing a particular color, a writer choosing particular words. Now, an artist, if he colors his, I mean, if he's drawn something very beautiful, but he colors it in all different things. Suppose he just as I gave you an example of a house, and if the artist has colored it in a beautiful shade, you will love the house, right? It will look like a doll house, or maybe a dream house, or maybe some other type of house that you would actually want to live in. If he simply colors it full black, you will not like it. You will say, oh, it's looking like a scary house, right? Or a horror house. So you will not like it. So similarly, if the painter needs to choose his color in the best possible way so that his painting looks attractive, very similarly, a writer has to choose his best particular words for that particular poetry that he's writing. If it's a sad or a very different type of poetry, he has to choose a word. I mean, all his words has to be in a specific order. His words have to be in a tone that brings out emotions. If he's using all cheerful words in all emotional and a sad poetry, people will not match it, right? Their emotions are going wow, and his poetry is going on a lighter note. But if his words and their poetry makes connection, and both are on the same pace and the same track, that means the words are collaborating with the poetry that he's written, the emotions that are coming from the poetry. So his poetry will be understood by people and loved by the people. Actually, they can understand his feelings and emotions, what he actually was to portray, right? The words are not haphazard or random. You cannot randomly choose. Just similarly, a painter cannot randomly just pick up any colors and start painting, right? He has to think what he needs to paint. Similarly, the words cannot be haphazard or randomly picked or chosen. They have to be chosen very carefully, full of connotative meaning. Why am I using the word connotative? Because here a poet is not describing the dictionary meaning. He is describing the meaning he wants to portray. His heart, he's pouring out his heart in the poetry. So, connotation word means he wants his own feelings according to his opinion to be written in the poetry. So, no dictionary words, it's your own feeling words. That's connotative words. Now, what's diction? This was all the introduction. Now let's come to the main part of diction. Diction means word choice. Word choice. To choose the correct word in the correct situation, correct manner, in the best possible way is known as diction. Pay attention to the different shadings that a word may have. One word can alter a sentence dramatically. I just said, right? Black and different colors can actually portray that the child's mood or the painter's mood is good or bad. So words as well can portray is the poet in an angry mood or he's in a sad mood or very cheerful mood. When we look at the word choice of the author, we are looking at the author's diction. That means we are looking at his emotions that he's writing in. Language form. Okay, let's see this one. Language formality scale. Now, what do you mean by language formality? Now, an author has to select that his poetry is in which form. It can be in a very formal way, it can be in the least formal way, how he wants to portray. Now, one, it's the scale here that I'm reading. The first one is learn, the most formal way. That means he cannot use the word just randomly. He has to think of very specific formal words in his poetry. The scale has popular, so he can use all the popular words in the poetry. What are the different popular words? Now, right now, everything has become, I mean, so many words have become popular, right? Like suppose ASAP, as soon as possible. Now, everyone knows this. So if I want to bring some different effect in my words and say it, I can just say, I want the work ASAP. I will not say just that the same thing. I mean, I'll not say that I want the work as soon as possible. Instead of that, I'll use a more popular way and I'll say ASAP. So that shows that I'm using a popular diction. I'm choosing my words in a popular scale. All the popular words are being said here. Or okay, this one we'll be seeing later on. Colloquial, that's another type that we'll be seeing in I mean in the coming slides. The last part of the formality scale is slang. Now this is the least formal. Slang is what? It's actually a very rough or a friendly way. I'll not even say a friendly way. I'll say it's a rougher side of a speech wherein you are using all the slang words. That means you cannot use it in front of a respected person or someone in authority or your parents or someone. You cannot use slang words in front of them. So it's more of a very friendly conversation, or the poetry he wants to be very bold in the poetry, so maybe he'll use slang words over here. So we can say that he's using slang diction. Now, what do you mean by colloquialism? I just read the word from the formality scale. Let's see what is that. Writing as friendly conversation. Now, that means friendly. Slang means more than friendly. It's not friendly, right? It's too much. Like, I mean, very bold and strong. You are using all the bad words. But here, colloquial means a friendly conversation, highly informal. You cannot use it in a formal way. What audience is appropriate for using such diction? What audience is appropriate? Now you have to say which audience you can use for colloquial diction. You can use your friends, your relatives who are of your own age, your cousins, and all, but not your principal, your teachers, not your any other person who's in authority. You cannot use these words in when you're talking to that person or when you're writing to that person, or if you're writing a poetry that portrays something very serious. So for example, any contractions, any shortened words, kind of, like, mad. Mad means angry. Now, I can just, instead of saying angry, oh my God, he's very angry, I can say, oh my God, today, bosses, he has actually gone mad. So, gone mad means he's crazy. He's become so angry that he's acting mad. So, yeah, or sure, certainly, it's me. So, these words are more friendlier words that are used in a colloquial scale of diction words. Now let's see slang. Least formal, its use is determined by the audience. Now, which audience we are picking satisfies a desire for novelty of expression, where you have to too much express your feelings in the least possible way. I mean, of course, I cannot use the word the best possible way because slang is not the best possible way. So, used by everyone at one time or the other is slang. Shifting the diction to slang may create a humorous effect or the impression of a lack of control over the writing. So, using slang also can portray that the author does not have a control over his writing, so he's written all of the slang words as well. Now, what do you mean by poetic diction? Language used in the poetry is known as diction. Vocabulary, phrasing, and usage of appropriate verses is known as diction. In a shorter form, that whatever words are written to show emotions of the poetry is known as diction. Poetry goes full force into the sound, rhythms, structures of languages. Examples of poetic diction. Now you can see here. In the icy silence of the tomb, a slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of early years. All these words, you can actually understand what is the feeling with icy silence. That means something has happened. There was icy silence. So with the appropriate word that he has used, you can understand what is the feeling behind it. Now, non-examples of poetic diction. Swimming fish. Fishes swim, right? So there's no proper feeling shown. Melting ice, it's natural. Boring poem, barking dog. All this is not examples of diction because proper words are not used here to show your emotions, right? So I hope you all understood what is diction and why it is used in a poetry, why an author has to specifically choose his word, choosing the best appropriate word for that poetry in the best possible way to portray his emotions and feelings is known as diction. I hope you all understood what it is, and almost we have done the diction part. In the coming video, we'll be moving forward. That is on page number 24. There are many more topics that we need to cover from poetry. I hope you all understood the topic, and if you all have understood, benefited from it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.